For a long time now, gigantic players haven't been able to understand the purpose of the Obelisk creature. The initial hype was that they could be summoned on enemy points, giving this incentive that their use was limited to assist in heavy snowballing, which is not a healthy direction in a game's development. But is this actually the Obelisk's intended purpose? Hello everyone, this is Wolfie from GG Unleashed, and in this video we'll be discussing the current uses of the Obelisk creature in the meta. After receiving a lot of feedback from other players, we've decided that although the Obelisk family isn't an amazing creature that has value in every single game, it can be a valuable part of certain team compositions and scenarios. The hype for Obelisk died down pretty quickly after the release. It was a low health creature that couldn't attack without the assistance of a power orb, and couldn't even capture power orbs either, not even on friendly control points. Sure, it spawned extremely fast and gave summoning experience, but in the end the Obelisk was more of a hindrance for taking up a creature slot on top of its already other multiple disadvantages. Even after receiving a hefty health buff and given the ability to attack by default, the Obelisk still wasn't seen very often in games aside from being an icing on the cake tactic for teams that were heavily snowballing. Destroying the enemy in a team fight on their half of the map opened an opportunity for a 5-stack summon on their forward point, and it made the match extremely disheartening for the enemy team despite the fact that Obelisks are still pretty easy to kill today. This led to Obelisk being given a reputation of being an extremely negative and confusing addition to the creature roster by the general fanbase, not to mention that they were eventually overshadowed by the Yeti Cyclops, Winter Bloomer, and now the Storm Drake. So with all that being said, do Obelisks really have any kind of place? Well, as said before, the competitive community doesn't think Obelisks are anything amazing. However, they do have their uses against team comps that specialize in rotations. Should your team wish to hold on the D point in Siren Strand or both points on Sanctum Falls, Obelisks are a good option for those points since the enemy has to spend time to kill them without gaining much of a benefit if they do. There's even a chance that the Obelisk can stall long enough for your team to respond to the attack, opening the ability to gain a few kills and pull ahead in a power race. Or while the enemy team is taking down your Obelisk, you can use it as an opportunity to flank the enemy control point and walk away with 20 power while the enemy gets nothing. Another good Obelisk implementation is on the Ghost Reef to complement defensive and zone control teams. An Obelisk on D makes it hard for the enemy team to gain a real advantage because the area is protected so well. Defensive teams know how to stay alive and take advantage of someone who strays too close, and that gives them the opportunity to grab the power orb on D. However, these are two very specific scenarios, which means that the Obelisk doesn't have much flexibility as any other creature on the current roster, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The problem lies in the fact that there's no current way to tell what you'll be fighting against, so you could be loading up an Obelisk when there's no need for it, and this is only worsened by the fact that you can't change creatures during hero selection. The true reason the Obelisk isn't often picked is because every other current creature family has far more uses and flexibility to fit all team compositions. Anyone who's played this game for longer than a year knows that Motika does plan to implement a competitive draft mode style game option, but adding the ability to swap creatures during the draft should be implemented, or at the very least considered. That alone gives more of an option for a team comp to add more to their strengths and cover their weaknesses, and gives a chance for creatures to be used in very specific methods instead of having players choose their standard generic 3 before they even queue up. But that'll be the end of this video. If you enjoyed watching, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you'll be the first to know when more videos come out. Leave comments about the video topic or what discussions you'd like me to cover next. What do you think of Obelisks? What ways have you implemented them that give them a chance to shine? Thank you for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you on the airship.